Welcome, everybody. I wanted to say thank you. This is Mr. Reality for supporting me at Reality Forecast on Ko-Fi, and I thank Liz for allowing me to do the videos with her. How are you this morning, Liz?
Oh, feeling fabulous. How are you?
I'm excited. I see my supporters are growing, so thank you very much to all of you. I just want to say I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Today, I wanted to about Mormonism. I don't know if how familiar you are with the book or the word, but I thought we could bring in Joseph Smith, the founder of the Church of Latter-day Saints movement and a prophet from 1805 to 1844, life cut short by a murderous gang that came into his cell. But let's talk to Joseph Smith if we can.
Yes, why not do something highly controversial first thing in the morning? Let's
Well,
go.
why not?
All right, what would you like to know? I've got him here.
So tell me what he looks like. How does he appear to you, and what is he wearing?
He appears very stern, okay, to me as he is standing here. He's dressed very similar to that picture there located on the right with
Okay.
the collar and the shirt. His trousers are sort of stopped just below the knee, and then he has, they're sort of tightened, and then he has like some black worn shoes. He looks like he has money to me. I mean, not that you have money in the spirit world, but he's dressed as if someone, he's not poor.
Is he currently incarnated or not?
No, he is not incarnated.
Has he had multiple or one or two incarnations since he was murdered in 1844?
Ooh. Have you had any incarnation? No.
That's uncommon for a almost 175-year gap. Is he planning to come back soon? Because we don't find people that sit in the afterlife for that long.
I know. Are you planning to come back soon? He is. He is. And he will be another religious leader.
What has he been working on in the afterlife over the last ever so long?
What have you been working on? Um, there's a lot of children following him around, and I don't know why. What are all these children following around? He's almost like he's some sort of lead. Are you a leader up there? Okay. All right. And let me ask him a couple questions before I give it to the audience. And are you like, yeah. All right. So he is going to found a new religion when he comes down here, and he's already gaining followers up there. A lot of children are following him around. And he's convincing people to sign up, or convincing souls rather, to sign up for this new religion. Put it in your life plan. Come to this. He's promising enlightenment. He's promising expansion, growth, a way to show you how to live. He is going to, uh, is this going to be in the United? Yes, it is. I feel like it's going to be in Texas.
Well, hip hip hooray. So there's children's souls up there. I thought that souls sort of were not aged, but they're younger souls that are acting as children that are following him around.
I think the visual that was given to me was it's it's sort of like what he's working on for the next lifetime, where somehow he's going to be very instrumental in getting, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's in Texas, right? It's like sort of orphaned and abandoned children. So let me ask him this question. Are you going to be working on the border? Yes, he is. Okay. So there's orphaned or abandoned children, and he is going to create this sort of mega religion, mega church, where he takes in these lost souls, these lost children that for whatever reason have come over the border without their parents.
And will he have altruistic intentions or nefarious intentions in this act?
Mm. Will you have ultra a mixture of both?
Did he physically discover the tablets, the golden tablets in Palmyra, New York, or was that a story?
Did you physically discover the tablets in? No, no, he never discovered those tablets in New York. I don't even know what tablets you're talking. I don't know anything about Mormonism, which is good from a channeling, non-biased, remote viewing standpoint.
And I want to thank your viewers too. These probes here are inspired by listener requests. If you want a listener request, you can go to psychiclizcross.com and submit a probe. So thank you. Did an angel Moroni directly speak to you, or is it a different form of contact?
Did an angel Moroni directly say he believed that the an angel named Moroni spoke to him? Yes, he believed that when he was here on the earth plane.
Was that true, or was that a dark entity, or was that something
Mm,
else?
you're gonna love this. Maybe not so much for our Mormon listeners. He was engaging in an alien entity.
Oh, okay. What inspired him to create that idea of the golden tablets?
It was like a download that was given to him. He needed something that was going to be believable.
How did he actually scribe and translate the Book of Mormon? Was that like an alien download from him?
Ooh, how did you actually scribe and translate the? Yeah, that was this contact with this alien, as he knows now. I'm
Okay.
not saying his intentions were bad, okay? But in his mind, he wasn't, exactly sure what he was channeling. He was a medium in that lifetime. Were you a psychic as well? No, he was just a medium. Now that makes sense to me. There was a
Hmm.
question in the comments. Somebody says, well, how come you're channeling, but then you say, I feel? Well, that's because I'm also a psychic. So psychic mediums can channel and they can feel and they can see, and, they have all the bells and whistles. If you're just a medium, that means you're getting the information in, but you're not seeing who you're channeling. Whatever you're not getting any projections. You're not getting any feelings from the being that you are connected with, right? So, if I say, well, I feel the love pouring in from your grandmother or your father. That's because that psychic mediumship ability. He did not have that. He was just a medium, so he had no idea who he was channeling.
Was his ET responsible for any other religions, or how did it? What and was it an ET, and is it a physical ET, or is it one of those leftover fragments from a previous universe you've talked about?
Mm. It was a fragment. And what was the other part of that question? I'm
Did it
sorry.
has it contacted or made other religions with other people in the past? This entity, is that its modus operandi?
Mm. That is a great question. Yes, it likes to create cults, breakaway cults.
Wow. And what other ones is it
Yeah.
responsible for having made?
What other ones is it responsible for having made? What's that? So for some reason, it likes this area of Texas, and
Out,
it
demon,
likes,
out.
yeah. Um, it's been responsible for more than 100 breakaway cults over time.
What does it gain from generating that and creating that? Is it dark energy that it creates and it sort of feeds on it?
Hmm. What does it gain from generating? Well, control over a portion of the population. Now it has direct access not to just one individual, but a whole collective of individuals. And once it gains control, it then likes to feed information in.
So is it still feeding and
Hmm.
gathering information from those that practice following Mormonism now?
No,
Why not? Because its leader died, or what was that its main connection?
was that it's now I'm channeling the entity. Or let
Sorry
me
about
ask
that.
him. No, it's okay. Was it because you passed away? Yes, it was because the leader died. And what he's saying, Joseph Smith is saying to me, it's he says in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions from the spirit world, it's still a force of good, right? So the entity wasn't able to influence that group of people in the way that it had intended to, in the way it had planned to turn that group of people to darkness, right? So I believe, was it because of your death? I do believe it was because of his death that it wasn't able to carry on with its agenda.
Hmm. Why did he introduce polygamy?
Why did you introduce polygamy? Because I wanted it to be different.
Why'd you exclude minorities from full participation in the church early on?
Did he?
I don't know. I'm just
Why
reading the
did,
questions.
well, right. And I believe the person that submitted this probe obviously is a Mormon. Why did you exclude minorities? Because he said at the time he felt that there was no place for those minorities in our community. You have to look at the time period as well, right?
Right. We're in 1840s. It's pre-Civil War. And was he aware of any plots against him? I mean, did he feel persecuted? I mean, he's in jail and he's lynched. Did he have any prophetic dreams about, oh no, this is it? Or did he think God will save me?
Mm, mm. Did you have any prophetic? He was always watching his back because what he was trying to create and develop was so unique, so different. Um, it was seen as blasphemous and evil and negative by the mainstream religion or religions, and there was always people after him.
Did he have any prophetic dreams that this was the end or the end was near?
Did you have any? He could feel it. He felt that the end was near. Yes. Did you have any dreams? I feel like he did. Yes, I am getting when we talk about this actually, there's a lot of fear popping up in that energy field. So were you in grave danger at that point? He knew he was going to die.
How many lifetimes had he had as a human up until Joseph Smith?
Mm. How many lifetimes did you have as a human? 400.
And had he been a religious leader previously? Because it seems like we're developing a pattern here if he's going to come back as another one.
I know. Have you? He, in most of his lifetimes, he is some sort of religious leader.
Religious leader or cult creator. And I'm not suggesting that the Church of Latter-day Saints is a cult. I'm just using that term sarcastically, as I often do.
Right. So religious leader or cult create or a breakaway. I mean, he calls it like a breakaway. It's a breakaway from the norm. Now, in his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, like he believes that breakaway from the norm will lead to consciousness expansion.
What
But what we have
practices?
to
Oh,
remember is that we are still humans trying to run religion, right? So religion is never going to be perfect.
what practices is he planning to implement in Mormonism Part 2, the Texas version, to help people become closer and more highly ascended?
What practices? So there's going to be some hallucinogenic teas.
Hmm,
Yeah, yeah. Vegan, going vegan.
I'm out.
Co- You're so funny. Uh, going communal gardening.
Naked? Seems like communal gardening has to be done nakedly to be more in touch with the harmoniousness of Earth. Maybe it'd be a
Uh,
nudist cult. or religion. Who knows?
Is it going to be a nudist cult? No. Is it going to be a nudist religion? No. Is it, but it's about sustainability. Uh, you know, being ecologically ethical. Um, it's a self-sustaining community. But here's the problem. As he's getting into telling me what kind of community it's going to be, they will shut themselves off from all outside belief systems and outsiders that are not aligned to their belief systems, and then those people become evil, and then yeah.
Has he met with Jim Jones to find out how that works for people?
No.
Maybe he should have a powwow with Jim Jones just to see how that plays out if you separate. The other religions that he has created or the splinter factions that he's created, what's what's the vibe like with angels up there and spirit planning teams? Are they all like, "Hey, that's a great idea," or I guess you can do whatever you want. It's a bold plan, but I'm just wondering how he's received up there in religious circles.
How are you receiving? I mean, it's just, religion doesn't really matter up there. Is it seen as a bold plan? I mean, it is, but it's really, I mean, he's not really disrespected or looked down upon. It's a double-edged sword. It's one way maybe you are going to expand your consciousness by being vegan and chanting and living ecologically, and but then on the other hand, it starts to become like an overtaking of the consciousness, right? So it's really important and it's not just this guy, for anybody who follows religion. Okay, how is this going to expand my consciousness? And where is the line that has to be drawn where it overtakes the consciousness, right? Because there are some people that are so religious that they don't talk about anything else. And unless you're talking about, and I'm just giving an example, Jesus, right? There's no conversation. So to me, and to what I'm getting, actually, Jesus just turned up. To me, what we're getting is that's wrong. You see, Jesus just said that. He said that's wrong. That's taking it too far. Because the role of Jesus here on the earth plane was to give an example of pure love and light. But he's trying to give this example of pure love and light to very flawed humans and human belief systems. I mean, and we're supposed to be like that. The CTT group, we know that, right? This is why this system exists. But it's you have to figure out, like, okay, where is that line drawn? I'm getting what I need out of it, but I don't need it to overtake the consciousness. So what he does in the spirit world is he convinces a lot of souls, a lot of lost souls, because most souls have not found a way to grow, resolve, and expand their consciousness. So it's easy pickings, right? I mean, with the CTT, somebody's asked me before and I probed into it. I had a shingle out up in the spirit world, and I'm like, hey, and George was there. We've got this consciousness expansion. Sign up. And souls, that's what they want to do. They don't necessarily want to keep carrying on with this reincarnation process. So they're looking for ways out as well. And Joseph Smith is just one of many options that are presented in the spirit world.
Hi, Jesus. Thanks for showing up. Do you feel that the Mormon religion represents your original intent? Or
Do you feel that? The Mormon religion represents your original intent. No,
Can people find God? Is there a religion that they should look to, or do they need to find God within themselves?
it has to come from within.
How deeply can we get within, and how do we do that?
Oh, how deeply can we get within? Well, you can go all the way into your individual cells and atoms, molecules, things like that. If you can penetrate through the layers, he says, most people don't have the brain capacity to do that.
How can we enhance our brain capacity to be able to do that? Is it just through meditation? Is it through practice?
How do we enhance it? Well, you have to unlock it. So, it's not a one size fits all for everyone. You have to find what resonates for you, the audience, not Mr. Reality, but you have to find what resonates for you to unlock that brain capacity. Don't forget on a previous thing that we did, doing mathematical calculations and pushing yourselves mathematically is a fantastic way to unlock the brain. Now, I understand not everybody can do that. Some people really struggle with math, but even if you did the most basic computations and you continuously work your way up, people want to preserve the brain power. Mathematically, you preserve more brain power and you achieve more expansion through that than you do doing, how like people will do crosswords and word searches and things. Not saying that those things are bad, but I'm just getting from spirit. Oftentimes, mathematics is the way to go. So, but it's not a one size fits all.
I'm sorry for using your name in vain. I apologize. Please forgive me. I wanted to also ask Jesus while he's here if he's had any consultations with the entity Joseph Smith that we're discussing now about cautioning or suggesting other ways not to do his religion or the religions, or is he like, ah, there Joseph Smith goes again, making another religion?
Have you ever cautioned? No. Jesus stays well out of it, stays well out of the soul planning. Absolutely. That was a really good question. Because
And
again, a lot of people believe that Source, Jesus, these religious entities love them. And I guess, yes, that they do. They do love, but not in a way that we understand love. But they also know that love is existing. So if it means that Joseph Smith is going to create a new religion, a breakaway group, and people will join it and then they're going to suffer, bad things because of it, they don't interfere with the system. They need those things to happen in order for the system to survive.
is Jesus coming back anytime soon? I think he said before 4,000.
Are you coming back anytime? No, not anytime soon. No.
What's he working on? What's he do? What's the day-to-day activities of Jesus Christ?
What are the day-to-day activities that you do? He's an overseer. He's almost a keeper of the system is what I'm getting. Um, he's directly under source because he is an extension of source and he oversees the system. The
How's
system
this?
isn't fair.
No,
Nobody said the system is fair,
no.
right? But to love is to exist, is what I'm getting, and to exist is to love. Those things are interchangeable. So you would either be a black hole of nothing or you can exist.
How many lifetimes as a human being has His Holiness Jesus Christ had?
One.
I guess you do it right the first time. Why do it again? When you're in.
You're so God.
So was he involved with the karmic system that we currently have?
No.
Whose decision was it to make karma a point of human incarnation? Did that happen before he got on the clock?
Oh. So that system of karma was developed many, many universes ago. Not This is nothing new for this universe. No, this was developed a long time ago.
Are previous sources sitting in judgment of the current source that we have?
Our previous sources. No,
Where did they go?
they're locked within those universes.
Do those universes still exist, even though they're, I guess, in the past?
Do they still exist? Yes. Yes, but they're locked. So we don't have like, a neighbor universe or neighboring universe operating with a similar like Earth plane, similar circumstances, similar universal laws. Those are locked one at a time. That we get like a chain. So once one locks, the next one opens.
Are there, I'm asking Jesus, by the way, because Jesus is here. Thank you for joining us, Jesus. I know you got work to do, but are there ET hybrids that have a human soul? Is that some way that the ETs have circumvented the human soul contract?
Are there ET hybrids that have some of a human soul? In previous universes, yes. In this current universe, no. But they would love for you to believe that.
But it's not true then? How is that possible then? Are there some that are hybrids that just they didn't get a soul because there's a new cipher system you've invented? Or not
Is
them
it?
trying to give the bad guys, the keys. I'm just wondering.
No, I understand. They can't hack into the system. They can't mathematically hack in. They can't, decode or whatever. They can't hack the code.
Has
This
Jesus
is,
incarnated?
sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
this is one of the best systems ever created as far as like anti-hacking.
Has Jesus ever incarnated on any other planets?
Hmm. Have you ever incarnated? Yes. That was gosh, you're full of good questions today. One other incarnation, how many universes? 4 universes ago.
So Jesus is a continuance of previous universes. How did he avoid that lock?
How did you avoid that lock? Oh God, this is going to be so controversial because do I have to say that? Yes, Liz, you do. Let me just ask it one more time. How did you avoid that lock? Because Jesus doesn't really exist.
I don't understand. Who are we talking to then? And who
Okay,
incarnated as
I get
Jesus?
I get it.
Are you
Okay.
metaphysically answering us, or are you a
I
construct? Because we talked to your mom and she said you were a lovely baby.
Yes, but Jesus is just an extension of source. Therefore, Jesus does not really require a soul. Source does not have a soul, right? We have souls because we're supposed to, because we are fragments. There's a difference, but oh, okay. There's a difference between a fragment of source and an extension of source. Jesus is an extension. We are fragments. Fragments are souls. Jesus, as in, does Jesus have a separate soul to source? No. It's just a projection, an extension out. Does that mean that Jesus doesn't exist in consciousness? No, but it doesn't exist a in an energetic form like we exist, if that makes sense.
Are other religious leaders from religious history also extensions of source, or is Jesus the only one?
Our other, no, Jesus is the only one.
So are well, we don't want to bring in other religions, but does that mean that is there a way for people to petition something to change within the system, or can we run for being how many universes has Jesus seen then?
How many universes have you seen? Two.
But he was incarnated 4 universes ago.
Right. So he appeared 4 universes ago and he appeared again in this universe. So what did those 2 universes in between 1 and 4? So saying if we were just saying we're number 4, we're not number 4. We're way past that. But just so the audience understands, what happened with 2 and 3? They used a different entity, a different figure. Did that work out? I mean, it did the job it was supposed to do.
And when we talk about universe, does that include all of our planets, all of our solar systems, all of our galaxies? Is that the universe that we're talking about? Or are we talking about something less on the cosmological scale?
Are we talking about everything contained within the universe? So planets, stars, solar system, everything.
So can Jesus go to other galaxies now and see other beings that are there in other
No,
galaxies?
no. And I'm saying why can't you do that? Because it's forbidden. Can
But your
source
source.
right. So that was my next question. Can you extend to, no. Source is all, are you locked? Yes, source is also locked in this universe.
But the universe is way bigger than Earth. So why the hell is Earth important? I mean, I live here. It's not a bad planet, but it's terribly designed. It could blow up at any minute, and it's full of things that kill you, and storms and tornadoes and hurricanes, and we can't live in the
Mhm.
water. It's.
Okay, but that's our consciousness thinking. If you're talking about the design of the system and the collective universal consciousness, Earth is perfect because it brings about suffering and, but all sorts of emotions around the earth. Fear, when there's, weather events and earthquakes and things like that, it brings destruction, it brings cleansing. So it does the job it's supposed to do. We may not like the job that it does, but it does the job it's supposed to do.
So how many splinters of Source are on other planets in other solar systems in the Milky Way galaxy?
How many splinters of source are there? Ooh, that's a good question. How many splinters of source are there now, in this current moment? 4.
In the
So are
Milky
you
Way
saying,
galaxy, which
and
composes hundreds of thousands of stars, probably millions, only 4 contain splinters of Source.
only 4 contain? Yeah, and those 4 are on the Earth plane. Wow.
Does the dark maintain the rest of it? Because we are karmically foobarred if that's the truth.
Does the dark maintain the rest? No, it's a combination of light and dark. We have to have both. It doesn't mean that those splinters, that was a really good question. It doesn't mean that those splinters of source will be looked at like Jesus was, right? I'm getting that some of them are possibly inventors, scientists. It doesn't necessarily have to be a religious following.
There has to be life elsewhere in the Milky Way galaxy or in the Andromeda galaxy, Jesus. And so I'm petitioning Jesus to maybe lighten the non-ability to tell me things and just ask how many other planets contain life, and is that life, does it have souls? Do they incarnate? Because I can't believe this whole theory that Earth is the center of the universe, the most important planet. I think people just say that because they haven't been to other ones.
Is there life on any, now I'm asking Jesus, is there a life on any other planet? No, I'm getting a no on that. Are there souls that exist on any other planet other than Earth? No, I'm getting a no for
Why is he
now.
telling us that if we know that's patently not true? Is he not allowed to tell us?
That's a good question. Are you not allowed? No, it's true. He says it's true.
It's not true. There are bodies, there are craft, there are extraterrestrials that we have. Credo Mutwa was a Zulu tribe member or high shaman that said that he once ate an alien gray as part of a ritual. And so that is an entity, that is a being, that is someone that came from another planet. And yet you're telling us that's not. Does he have a different definition of life or a different definition of the soul?
Do you have a different definition of life? No. Do you have a different definition of the soul? No. But just because there's craft and just because there's evidence of aliens, okay, what he's saying to me doesn't mean that they were alive like we are alive.
I'm not trying to piss Jesus off, by the way, just so you
No,
people know.
I
And
know.
Jesus,
I
I don't want to,
know.
you know, I don't want to meet a death like Joseph Smith here, but I wanted to just say there are evidence of beings elsewhere, life forms elsewhere. So how are you qualifying it to say that the Earth planetary system is then unique?
Those are just heavily pixelated. Those are just heavily pixelated beings that are not really in existence. There really isn't, he says, a physical body. It looks like a physical body. It may seem like a physical body, but it's heavily pixelated.
Aren't
But
we
I'm
also
saying, but
heavily pixelated? Yeah.
we're physical. Are we physical? Oh. Are we just heavily pixelated? I mean, he said in broad terms, yes, we're just heavily pixelated beings with energetic weight attached to us and gravity.
And where are we? Are we really on Earth? Are we all in like pods somewhere? Are what's the real story, Mr. Christ?
Are we really on Earth? Yes, we're really on Earth. So is Earth like a figment of our imagination? No. Hmm.
How much longer do humans have on planet Earth?
How much longer do humans have? Millions and millions of years. The Earth will cleanse itself. Yes, that is true. But there will always be humans that will survive now.
I mean, Mr. Reality, speechless. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm sure I'll take more questions after this. We came in to talk to Joseph Smith. We ended up talking to the Son of God. I really never know where pros will lead with Liz Cross, but Liz, I want to thank you. And Jesus, thank you. Joseph Smith, thank you. And each one of you out there, I thank you very much for this. More questions will come as I didn't plan for this, so we'll have to come back to this another time. Um,
I
wow.
know. We just scratched our whole lifetime reality segment.
Yeah, we were going to go to TLC reality, but we turned into a
That's
whole
it.
different direction, didn't we?
We did, and that's what happens during these videos. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, what do we do with the pixelated information, right? How are we going to now further that into a continuum. Yeah.
How
So
many
thank
souls are on Earth, I
you.
guess, is my question.
How many souls are on earth? Too many to count.
Does a blade of grass have a soul, or does it collectively have a soul with the whole forest of grass?
No, one blade of grass has a soul.
Am I karmically damaged by mowing the lawn?
Oh no. Am I currently damaged by mowing the lawn? No.
Well, that's good to know. At least there's that.
But if you pull something, okay, that makes sense because sometimes you'll buy food at the store and maybe you'll get like a potato that doesn't look good or something that doesn't look good. Is that soul still in that potato or that piece of fruit or whatever at the moment that we have it in our hands? Yes, it is. Okay. And then we say, this doesn't look so good, or maybe I just don't really want it, so I'm going to throw it in the trash. Now that creates karmic debt. What Jesus is saying, the ethical way to deal with that would be to plant it and allow it to grow because even though it may be imperfect, you don't want to just throw a soul in the trash, okay? And I'm saying, but not a lot of people have the choice. What about people that live in cities that he says doesn't matter? Okay, what if they ethically took that and then put it in a compost bin? Now that's ethical. Now, and this, as we're saying this, look at what Joseph Smith is planning to do when he comes back. It's all about the environment and being ethical and sustainable. So let's ask Joseph Smith, are you going to follow these types of guidelines? I mean, yeah, he is. He's going to follow similar guidelines, maybe not as in depth as this, but so let's ask this question. Environmentally speaking, would we create more good karma if we are, recycling and we are being ethical with the disposal of food, waste, and things like that? Yes, we would.
Well, I guess I'm going to go plant a tree, Liz.
Well, make sure it's a peach tree because I does it
Well, then I
matter
have to
what?
take care of all the peaches. I can't afford to feed that many families. Every peach has a soul, and if I throw it out and the birds get it, oh my gosh, I'm doomed. That can't afford the karmic debt.
I know, but see if but maybe that peach signed up to be eaten by bird. We have this massive pear tree in our yard, right? It produces like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pears. But as of the last 2 years, the squirrels and the birds, they take everything. And see, yeah, I was about to ask that, and Jesus just said, well, they were supposed to. That was the soul contract.
What about Liz's family? She's got to feed the family too, and she can't feed all the squirrels and all the birds and all the pigeons and all the whatever else eats the bird. They're up there.
Oh, if they hang low enough, you get the deer eating them too. Um, we don't have a contract to be fed by that tree. Ooh,
That is harsh.
isn't that interesting? So I guess we need to be a lot more ethical. I mean, I always knew that about the potato, or I always thought that. I was like, yeah,
I
there's
talk
a
to my apples
soul.
that I look at. I say, "You're a good apple, but you don't have a place with me, and I find the best apple for me." And they talk back sometimes.
Is that when you have foil wrapped around the top of your head so the laser beams are reflective when they shoot at you?
No, I have a special hat though that I wear. Make sure I go out win.
This was fun.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Liz. Thanks
Mr.
each and every
Rios.
one of you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Joseph. We'll talk to you guys again another time.
Oh, this was big. Thank you for putting this together and for the listener who submitted the request. We
Hmm.
appreciate it.
Bye bye.